Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. This was the scene a few minutes ago, the dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel, and they're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield. First carry for Nick Chubb, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Let's meet the offense, Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Now Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. A cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills, you get the full package with him.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. My God.
Mayfield leaves it for Hunt on the draw. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
180. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Mike. 20. Go. God.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Rashard Higgins was the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line. Russell Wilson bringing out the Seattle Seahawks. And just another tremendous year for Wilson. Over 4,100 yards passing, second most of his career. 31 touchdown passes to just 5 picks. And he kept it going in the wild card round. 325 yards in the win at Philly. So while it's probably not an MVP season, does any player mean more to his team than Russell Wilson to the Seahawks?
It'd be hard to argue that any player does, but if there's one, it's probably Lamar Jackson with Baltimore because they can play that style with him. Would a conventional quarterback be able to get as much out of that offense as Lamar Jackson? Probably not. But all in all, Russell Wilson, he is the Seahawks now, especially being able to carry a team that lost its top 2 runners on a team that likes to run the ball first going into the playoffs. Yeah, they brought back Marshawn Lynch, but it's still Russell Wilson's team. And how about that big throw late to seal things to DK Metcalf? No shortage of fortitude with Russell Wilson.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
CD, we got a little time here before Cleveland takes their next snap on offense. Quite a ride, really, for the Browns in 2019. Freddie Kitchens really hardly knew you. Gone after one season. Remember, people had elevated the Browns, not just playoff contenders, really, but Super Bowl contenders in the preseason. But that 6-10 finish brought them back to earth in a big way.
Well, let's go back to the preseason, and we did talk about those high expectations. I think that you and I both pumped the brakes on the Super Bowl talk. I thought playoff talk was legitimate. And when you look at this roster, whoever ends up taking over as the head coach of the Browns, they should be very happy with the talent that they have and a chance to chase a division title in the AFC North. So we'll see if this team matures, learns from this past season where expectations were too high and they didn't come close to meeting them. But I think it's a roster well worth noting that they can make some noise if they come together and play at their best.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, punk.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end, and he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch that. Watch that.
On 2nd down and 4, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Mayfield on first down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Mayfield now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coaches.
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Seibert on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Seattle Seahawks road warriors this year, 8-1 on the road following the wild card win at Philadelphia. The big headline, of course, as you kind of touched on earlier, the return of Marshawn Lynch, also Robert Turbin, but as you said, Charles, how about DK Metcalf? Last pick of the second round, 160 yards in the win at Philly, the most by a rookie in a playoff game.
And how many people can use being picked in the second round of the NFL draft as motivation, like they've been slighted? And that's how DK Metcalf has felt. And he now says the best thing that ever happened to him in his career was going in the second round, because he'll always have fuel to prove people wrong. And boy, did he ever in that game. And earlier this year, I did the Philadelphia-Seattle game in regular season, and DK Metcalf had 3 big drops in that game. How about the improvement to the playoffs? No drops, big plays all around. And last but not least, this Seattle team, they went east, I think 5 times this year and played at the 1 o'clock time zone. Undefeated in that time slot. And now they go east again, this time to Green Bay, and play in the Central time zone for a chance to go to the NFC Championship game.
It's a gain of 34.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. To throw is Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Grenade! And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You ain't got
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come out here in the eye. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Punching it in from a yard away as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make our score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. They find some open field here. And he'll go out of bounds all the way down inside the 35.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
After review of the play, the winner on the field stands.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
First down, Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Mayfield looks to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Mayfield with it once more. And he's he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So on fourth down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. From the left hash, this from 34. Seibert's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.